Let's see what goes to happen. Whoever wins this fight is walking with some pretty juicy points. If Chocolate Paladins does take the dub here, it would be a big win for the boys that voted for Chocolate Paladins. Blood Hunt Smokey. We are Daddy Sig's parents. We raised him into the gamer he is, and we're so proud of him. Can I get a question mark in the chat right now, ladies and gentlemen? Can I get a question mark in the chat? Honestly, I'm gonna question mark that myself. That's I'm question marking that myself, ladies and gentlemen. That's pretty funny though. That's pretty funny. And so on this time round, Paladin will take the attack with Chocolate Paladins taking the hard defense. Unicom's out. Alchemist in play here for Chocolate Paladins. Multiple sets of Alchemists with Javelins, Palace Guards, Halp Sergeants, Ball Boys, a lot of Javelins, Claymores, and still triple Cav here for Tau. With Pongard taking a Modal heavy approach, expecting a Sally that more than likely is not coming. And Gray Hairs, a lot of anti-cab. They are ready for anything. They're all spawning far tab right side as well to avoid that B-side rush or an A-side rush. Staying in a death ball formation, staying with any of the RD as well. Interesting tactic here for Pongard, and a very defensive tactic. I think it's wise, especially on Sun City. As he says, good chocolates. Siki says, tastes like butter. You want some butter on your spaghetti? South Park, anyone? No? Okay. Let's see where this goes, ladies and gentlemen. Let's see where this goes. A lot of Medaus, holy smokes. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so as you can see, they're going in a line formation right off the bat. Heavy anti-cav. To their surprise, it does not look like at all Chocolate Paladins will rush them. Instead, they're going to take a wall from the approach as well with a lot of supporting units. Not on the field to start, though. It does look like they're going to start PG, Javelin, and Reaper start with walls. They do not want to lose walls. They're going to full commit walls, same as Pongard. They saw Pongard do it well, and they're going to do the exact same. Tau going far tab right side to Anti with Ballista. Crit putting up ladders. This to harass. Roll supporting Tau. Joe Yuki Hang looking for a central approach. It does look like Pongard realizing they're not going to rush. Goes for a central approach here, pushing both towers, working Artie, not taking that ladder rush strat that Chocolate Paladins did and did not work well. Instead, they'll have a handful of players, including Maximus, Sig, and Sledge, try to harass on the walls, with Reb, General Yuki, and Dealer going tab left mid. Crit going on the ground, currently fighting Roll on the ground. Mr. Billy D and Sig seeing Crit on the Roll on the ground, immediately trying to stop him. Tau jumping down to help Roll. Let's go over there real quick. Let's zoom in. Let's speed up and go over there real quick. Tau and Roll using their pike skills to get out of the situation. Onami kicking the ladder, needs to stop. Realize that Tau is there, but it's too late. Tau has died to the 6 heroes that were chasing him. 5 heroes, 6 heroes actually. On tab left side, B side is completely unscathed. Chocolate Paladins realize that there's only one guy behind, sending the rest of their team to A side to support. Tab right mid side being pressured heavily by ladders. Towers landing first shot. Pongard taking the tactic that I expected most would take. Tab right mid, realizing it's only a one front war, will have a better opportunity there for Pongard to make a push against Chocolate Paladins, especially with Trebs in their advantage. Chocolate Paladins will have to be forced down one line of combat. And not really and have to dodge Trebs on top of that. We'll have to see those, we'll have to see. Gilcho and Watson widen their tower to victory. Not confident. Also, game working as intended. Just hovering. That is no lag. It does look like Tau will go for a rush with Roll, realizing the opportunity they have, but there's Medaus there, ready to go, and they do braze. Tau goes around the Medaus, tries to flank in. There's Claymores there as well. They're not going to get that cav rush off that they might have thought they would. Doesn't look like it's good cav either. It looks like it's kind of junky cav. It is junky cav. It's bullshit cav. They're trying to buy time. Tau going for a suicide mission with Tau. Roll going for a suicide mission. Onami also on a suicide mission. I didn't see him. He does come in as well. Onami, Tau, and Roll instantly antied. Big death ball goes as planned. PG pushes up the tower. Not contested whatsoever. Big mass up over here. It's now up to the remainder of Chocolate Paladins with their javelins that are not frontline units to hold the line. And can they? Definitely not with javelins. Look at that death ball. This is called coordination right here, ladies and gentlemen. You saw here first a pre-planned trap on tab left mid side where they expected the javelins to go. Perfectly hits Chocolate Paladins here. Pongard using both their team tactics, realizing they have to cover the stairs, but can also push right through. Cover the stairs. They realize the stairs are now clear. Move up, watch the back area, and then go through the central low. Sedgman taking points here, followed by Maximus, Pine, and Sig. Take down and Akuma watching the backside, and Staircase still being watched heavily as well. This is a big advantage here. This is what Chocolate Paladins should have done as well. The fact that they pushed a B-side tower in a two-front war was a massive mistake on their front. Instead, it does look like Chocolate Paladins will, which is what should have happened, have the, this is an attack-oriented part of the map. I mean, you got towers on the walls. This is not where you're supposed to hold. And Chocolate Paladins does get wiped out pretty decisively here, as expected, by that push. I mean, Tab Right Tower push, it's hard to freaking anti it. It's one-way push, and you have to win every exchange there, plus getting trebbed at the same time. It's very hard to beat that. Very hard. Pawn Guard takes that decisively. They see their opportunity. They snowball past it, and they go for B as well, probably pushing the supply point next. Pawn Guard not really pushing down the staircase. Maybe they go for supply point. Chocolate Paladins has nothing on supply at this point in time. I'm sure Pawn Guard are now pondering going down there, and of course they go for it, because why wouldn't they? They gave supply, another very vital point on the map in any siege tactic. Very surprised here, ladies and gentlemen, that Chocolate Paladins is giving supply. Actually caught me on also words there. I'm really not sure what Chocolate Paladins has planned next. They look like they're going to give everything and go straight to home for a 15-minute hold. Very tough scenario here for Chocolate Paladins. Unit counts are definitely the favorite right now still of Pawn Guard here. Capping B for free with Yuki on the point. Pawn Guard getting ready for the C take. No contesting on the walls any further. It does look like Chocolate Paladins is going to let it go and also let C go. It does look like Pawn Guard will just snowball through here and get a really big lead on a home point push with full unit comp and up about 150 units. It does look like Ascentry and Crit will take that tab right approach to the supply point, taking C for free, working the angles. It does look like it's going to be hard defense by home point here for Chocolate Paladins. I want to keep an open mind and see how this plays out for Chocolate Paladins. I haven't seen this strat. I have to be honest. I haven't seen this one. It's a very interesting strat. We'll have to see. It does look like they're going to go for a hard death ball approach. Both teams staying in this death ball format, using like half the map. No flanking plays, no splitting of the team, just death balls on death balls. It does look like Pawn Guard will go for a hard tab right push. They want to take Chocolate Paladins head on in Mini Castle, which is pretty anti-Treb, so they won't have Trebs as their friends. They're going to have to win their exchange here. If Chocolate Paladins wins the exchange here, it would be a big turnaround for them. Chocolate Paladins, not realizing they're still deathballed, has a couple guys watching the flank. General Yuki is over there, but that's it. Crit on the flank with Patrick working the angle. Mini Castle really being the hard defense play here. Ripcats in a 1v1 with Reb. Ripcats is definitely a mess in 1v1s. You don't really want to 1v1 Ripcats. General Yuki realizes the situation also goes to support Reb to take down Ripcats. The Ripcats kind of using his pike skills, just vibing around. Not really sure what's happening there. I think I bit my lip on accident. Kind of sad. Mini Castle really kind of set up here by both teams. You really, I mean, based off, if you were on the ground right now, actually, they are just melting these Medaos. Really getting some shots off here with some Alchemists and some Javelins. Really kind of working these Medao. Fnatic is kind of taking it. Not really reacting. Really just kind of move his units away. Falco's also shooting now into Mini Castle. Chocolate Paladins looking for an opportunity here to make a play. Are kind of beginning to ensnare. Pawn Guard is now in a three front scenario. Chocolate Paladins seeing this starts to push down the doorway and tab right side and the tab left doorway, looking for a three-way front. Pawn Guard reacting quickly. He realizes they need to go to a choke point, otherwise they get sandwiched by Ripcat's Tau, who are high quality cap players. It does look like Pawn Guard is kind of maintaining this little alleyway here. There's a lot of blood happening in this alleyway. I'm going in for a closer look, ladies and gentlemen. Pawn Guard kind of winning the trade here, down 4 guys, but so is Chocolate Paladins, ladies and gentlemen. So is Chocolate Paladins. Tau gets out, but at what cost? At what cost, ladies and gentlemen? It does look like Pawn Guard will have their supply decisively held. Mini Castle stage. Chocolate Paladins gets an even trade there for the most part. Pawn Guard might get a little bit of advantage here still. But pretty much even trade. Mini Castle is the hold. They used that 3 alley strat to their advantage, and Pawn Guard almost pretty much walked into it. If they had stayed there any longer and pushed any deeper, then it would have been over for them. They would have got sandwiched. It does not look like Chocolate Paladins to step on the back line at all. They have some javelins throwing at Pion's Keshiks. They do take out a handful of them, and they start working heroes on them. Pion, alone as fuck, realizes he's in deep shit and starts to lose half his Keshiks. Pion, pissed off, tries to fight him, but realizes there's now 4 heroes chasing him. And of course, Mini Castle is now being pushed by Pawn Guard. Pawn Guard is definitely going to get Mini Castle here. Chocolate Paladins, who's so focused on Pion, does not rotate in time. It does not react in time. Give here. They give Mini Castle completely. Not set on the flanks. On tab left mid, they're set up a little bit, but Mini Castle itself is still now in the favor of Pongard. Pongard now has an advantage, a forward operating base here of Mini Castle. It is now up to Chocolate Paladins to read the situation and find out what's best to do here. Tao on the flank with Red Cats, and Gilcho and Red the Brave trying to push down the mini door with Jason West watching the door. Some very talented players. Roll and Chinsu watching the main line with Matt. Juni Bug and Fluffy Rabbit on the central approach. Asentry and the rest of Pongard are now pushing down the north side. South side being pushed right now by Tao. Tao is flanking Joe. You'll get a takedown Maximus and all of them at the same time. Tao does not win in exchange there at all. Tao is now in a deep shit. He's in a 4v1 snare. Tao kills one of them. Tao does get a 4v1, takes Yuki with him, gets out. Gilcho lets him go. Tao is very talented, ladies and gentlemen. That was pretty fucking pug, the guy out of that. Ripcat's not Toes also takes down Sledge Main, one of the key players here for Pongard. Chocolate Paladins are not going down without a fight, ladies and gentlemen. They're fighting for their lives. Treb's now coming in finally for Pongard, realizing they can Treb this little area where Junie Bug, Fluffy, and Onami are. They do eat that Treb right to the forehead. Pongard getting frustrated, decides, fuck the mini castle, we're going right for home point here. Watson on the roof with longbow doing longbow things. Look how toxic that is, dude. Look how toxic that is. Nothing you can do. Muskets will have to react. Pongard pulling out their cap now, looking for a flanking play. One here on tab left side. General Yuki and Gilcho looking for the flanking play. Chocolate Paladins has nothing there. There's nothing really to flank. They're in the mini doorway still. Really kind of by Mini Castle, kind of bolstered there. A couple guys on supply point right now for Chocolate Paladins, but there's really nothing to flank. Pongard coming in hot, flanking anything on point. Jason West, Mid-Gi, and Chinsu kind of caught with their pants down. Onami, Junie Bug, Ori Hill, and Ripcats responding. Pongard decisively taking point here. Chocolate Paladins is pushed off completely, ladies and gentlemen. They're just completely pushed off. It's now up to Chocolate Paladins to kind of get back in the fight here, but it does not look like they can. It does look like Pongard is going to decisively hold them down, lock up the doorway, go down to flood their supply. Chocolate Paladins is really struggling at this point in time. Pongard really seeing the situation, holds the line, but Chocolate Paladins is trying to push through, trying to make a play. Isn't enough, ladies and gentlemen. Isn't enough. Pringles in the back line dying to crit and dealer. Man, it's tight here. It does look like Pongard and Chocolate Paladins are in a hero versus hero scenario with a couple of units still on the field. Once the catcher is coming from Pine. Pine needs to make the play here. He does make the play. He goes in hard with catcher. He does get a big wipe here. Chocolate Paladins with only 5 heroes still on the field to 10 heroes for Pongard. Pongard's really got the advantage over here. It's looking like it's over for Chocolate Paladins, ladies and gentlemen. It's a matter of time at this point in time. There's barely anyone alive at this point for Chocolate Paladins. They're just desperately trying to stay alive, but they've got nothing left, man. They're just out. They're just out. And there it is, ladies and gentlemen. Jason West, the last one alive, along with Blake. Blake is too far away to make a difference here. Mid-Gi actually is alive as well. I didn't see him. 2 short swords on the point with Blake. 3 heroes versus the rest of Pongard. Pongard still having 12 heroes on the field. Mid-Gi and Jason West, the last ones alive for Chocolate Paladins here. Pringle's also alive, but will he get back in time? He's too far away, and Mid-Gi is now alone on point without Iron Sights, and it's over, ladies and gentlemen. It's over. And it's not over. It is over. It's hard legged. But, yeah, Pongard walking with another decisive dub here. Very interesting tactics by, I just lost my voice a little bit. I need to get a glass of water after this. Very interesting fight by Chocolate Paladins. GG's to all. Very, very tough fight here for Chocolate Paladins. Taking the 0-2, unfortunately. Let's play something calmer now, yeah? And, you know, Pongard, again, they're a fucking menace, ladies and gentlemen. A lot of fucking quality players in that team. They are a force to be reckoned with. They have one of the better shot callers in the game, calling for them right now. Maximus is a good friend and also a great shot caller. Knows this map like the back of his hands. So, you know, it's a tough fight here for Chocolate Paladins. Unfortunately, Chocolate Paladins was the underdog of the fight, and it did come to pass that Pongard takes the decisive dub. Pringle's walking away with MVP here for Chocolate Paladins with Mid-Gi, Ori Hill, and Ripcats following shortly after. A much better fight by them, I say. They really fought hard. They had a couple times where they had me really excited. They could have made some big plays and just got unlucky and lost their exchanges. But Pongard here, again, they're just a force to be reckoned with. Probably one of the strongest teams I've had the pleasure of streaming for this tournament. Really just a force to be reckoned with. Pine, again, he's either top 2 or MVP. He's either MVP or second place at all times. Asentry quickly following after with Gilchuk, Patrick the First, and Watson. I have to say, Watson's a very good longbow player, and he's just a fucking menace. Sig also doing some hero kills, great support as well. Deal for life, struggling a little bit, but not still doing his job. Not every single hero for Pongard really kind of doing their part here. No one really taking major L's in terms of deaths. I think Crit got the most deaths with 3. Meanwhile, Chocolate Paladins, almost every single one of their players have at least 3 deaths. So you can kind of see the matchup, ladies and gentlemen. In terms of just unit comp and skill, I think Pongard definitely walks away with it. I mean, Pongard have been around for a long time. They're definitely a veteran team and know their shit. Chocolate Paladins have some absolutely talented individuals. Still need some work. It was a very tough fight on the walls. Vanguard did exactly what I thought they would. Let's look at the post-battle analysis. I mean, this is a classic strat, ladies and gentlemen. This is exactly what I would have done. Tab right mid tower, rush handful of heroes, tab left mid, rush handful of heroes, tab right mid, and try to take down some of the artists with the tower lands. Watch the rush, anti-cav, stay as a death ball. And that's exactly what Maximus and the boys from Vanguard did. They pushed that wall decisively, took it without really sweating at it at all. Tower, Nami, and roll all had a good idea to rush out with Cav as soon as the tower landed and do some damage, but they were ready for it. Vanguard knows better. They've learned through fights that once tower lands, they're gonna knowing Cav players, they're gonna do that strat. And this is a Cav rush sally map. Most people on Siege will sally out on this map. 9 times out of 10 they sally, and they were very much ready for it. And they kept that unicomp the whole way through. Very tough fight on the walls for Chocolate Paladins. They do lose walls pretty decisively. Give supply as well. Don't even bother with supply. Another holding point. Usually, with Sun City, it's an attack-oriented map. You really need. It's not really about holding one point as much as it's holding them at specific parts of the point. Kind of like with Regionopolis, you don't hold someone in a specific spot the entire fight. You hold them in a certain spot for X amount of time, then you go to the next spot and hold them for X amount of time, and so on and so forth. And eventually, they'll run out of time. That's how we'd have to do it on this map. That's how I would have calculated on defense. Unfortunately for Chocolate Paladins, they did not do that. As soon as they lost walls, they fell back to home and gave them 15-16 minutes to fight on home point. And as soon as Mini Castle fell, that's it. They had no flanking plays, nothing they could have really done. They had they had one really nice flanking play when they had Mini Castle, but then they kind of gave it after that flanking play. They're just like, okay, now let's give it to them, even though they could have stayed there. So a tough situation here for Chocolate Paladins. I really like Chocolate Paladins, but they definitely struggled. GG's to all, really good fights. I think joining me in the box very shortly is going to be Pine and Max, but since they were unfortunately not able to join us at the beginning of the stream, they're going to come talk about their team now. And then in 15 minutes, ladies and gentlemen, we have Holy Crusaders versus Blame Alliance, another really good matchup. NA versus EU should be a nice matchup as well. I'm actually going to distribute the points real quick as well for this matchup. It does look like 86% of you did vote for Vanguard. 14% of you, unfortunately, will lose your points to the 86%. It is what it is, ladies and gentlemen. It's just good business. GG's to all, though, and we'll see you on the next matchup. We'll definitely see the next matchup very shortly here. Yeah. Definitely a hard